Morning, everybody. John Kenney here with Kenney Attorneys and Consultants, and today I have the privilege to interview with and have a conversation. This is a reverse role here with Heidi Ellsworth of RoofersCoffeeShop. Heidi, good morning. How are you?
I'm great. Good morning, John. Thank you for having me. This is really exciting.
Yeah, my pleasure. It's great to have you here. A lot of great things happening. So I told you a little bit about what we're doing here. We're having today's training day. We're getting a lot of word out to the industry, different products and that. I think these are always great to do. So, and in between our training sessions, that's where we're having our conversations to, keep industry out there, what's going on. So I guess that being said, what everybody wants to know is, what is RoofersCoffeeShop, and tell us a little bit about what y'all do.
Okay. Well, again, thank you so much for having me here today. I have to say, probably the biggest fan of Kenney overall and what you all do and bring so much to the industry. And it has continually inspired me with RoofersCoffeeShop. So RoofersCoffeeShop is a digital community. And that's kind of a weird way of saying it, because people are so used to saying we have a magazine or we have a website, but really what RoofersCoffeeShop is a digital community of roofing professionals. And it's meant for the roofing contractors. So we provide information every single day that helps the contractors build their business, get them in touch with folks like you for better training, for legal advice, for help overall. But we kind of take it one step further, John. We think it's important that we have fun too. So I always say we want to educate, we want to inform, and we want to entertain. And so when you come to our website or to our social media or see our e-news, our weekend roofing that comes out every week, you're going to see a little bit of all three of those things. And you're going to be able to take this back to your office.
No, that's great. And I think that actually you may have been a little ahead of your time, because we are now in a full digital world. So, I don't really, magazines, papers, they're still there, but I mean, we've learned to communicate better. We've learned to operate better. And basically we've learned to live in a digital world here over the last year in a pandemic.
Exactly. And, one of our goals last year, a little over a year ago this time, when we were starting to navigate this COVID and the craziness of the world, really our team sat down and we said, how can we help? Mm-hmm. And that's really, we always lead with that from RoofersCoffeeShop. How can we help? How can we help the contractors, the people on the roof, the professionals in the industry? And we knew we had to kind of take this digital world, the Zoom that everybody kind of right now is, I'm so tired of Zoom, but there's a lot of us out there who have been able to start reaching through Zoom. And I feel it's like these kind of conversations, the things that we do with our coffee conversations every other week, where we invite people on and they come on the screen and they do audio. We're reaching through. We're reaching through the screen. And that's what we all need, because we're a very relationship-based industry and we like each other. Sure. And we want to see each other.
We're a family. There's no doubt. Yes. I was even talking earlier with Pascal over in the IFD. And I think roofing unites the world. If you're in the roofing industry, it doesn't matter what country you're from, there's common ground. And I think, in today's day and age, especially, it's great to know that we can be part of that common ground to, put the goodwill out there, because roofing does promote a lot of goodwill between charity events. And I know you guys promote a lot of the charity through your RoofersCoffeeShop. Tell us a little bit about how that works, the charity roof event, that you promote, like what's it called, Doing Good, or I'll let you take that.
Yeah, no, we have a full article section or blog section, whatever you want to call it, on Caught Doing Good. And so we actually at RoofersCoffeeShop, we have a number of writers who work with us on writing articles every single day, going out there, interviewing, talking to folks. And our favorite article is to find somebody in roofing doing good. And it's really easy to find. I mean, every single day you see it on social media, you see it on the news. So we go out and we write about that. And we have, if you go to our website, RoofersCoffeeShop.com, to the news section, and you will see the Caught Doing Good, you'll get a little teary. It is just like some great stuff that is out there. But we also do our giving back segment. And by chance, our giving back page is sponsored by Kenney. And we are able to, on that giving back, we work throughout the year to help promote the foundations and the charities of our industry. So when you're talking about the Roofing Alliance or the Davis Memorial Foundation, or from NERCA to Florida to Midwest, you name it, there is so much good going on out there. And so in partnering with you all, we've been able to kind of really start putting a spotlight on that and get people more involved, because we need that more than ever. We need to be able to give back, but sometimes we forget about giving back to our own industry, to really where we are working every single day. And so we try to bring that to the foreground.
No, it's great to see you get that out there. We're a self-policing industry for sure, and we go after the ones that are not above board. We see that, but unfortunately, 90% of the news stories that do end up making on main media are always about the bad, and it's hard to get the good on there. But there's a lot of good out there, and roofers really give back. So I'm glad that you guys do that. It's great.
And I do want to say to that, John, it is, when you come to Roofers Coffee Shop, you're very seldom going to see bad stories on roofers or on roofing professionals. We know it's out there. Yep. We know that the mainstream media is going to pick up on it, but we really believe in roofing respect. And we believe in the respect of our industry. So we want to bring out the good stories, not the bad. And the bad will take care of themselves, but the good stories need to be celebrated. And so when you come to Roofers Coffee Shop, we're all about the celebration and roofing respect.
Well, what I always like to say, Heidi, if they're caught doing something bad, most of them are not really roofers or in the roofing industry. They're con artists. And that's what most of it is. And so it's great. But let's just go into a couple other things that you have going on. So I know you've been around for how long? How long has Roofers Coffee Shop been around?
Yeah, so Roofers Coffee Shop actually and John, you may remember this. I know there's some of you out there listening to this who remember this, but remember the newspaper Roofers Exchange?
I do.
Right? Yeah, that was revolutionary in the industry. It was this newspaper that went out and was on every counter, every distributor's counter across the entire country. And it was the first opportunity for roofing contractors to really work with each other, to talk to each other, buy, sell. It was full of classified ads. It had articles, safety tips, toolbox talks, those kind of things. Well, that was started by Vicki Sharples, who's my business partner. And Vicki, in 2000, got a hold of me, and I was actually at Carlisle at the time, and she said, "Hey, I see the future, and I really want to take this newspaper online. Can you help me?" And I said, "I would love to. That would be great." We had HJE marketing, and we were doing marketing for folks throughout the industry, and so in thinking about it at that time, and you'll probably remember this, John, but there were, a majority of contractors or roofing companies didn't even have a computer on their desk.
That's correct.
Maybe they had one, at the receptionist, possibly, but it was very little. So we had to create this place that would feel comfortable for people to come to online. It was not the norm by any means. And my dad being a contractor, he always got his best information. He found all of the right tips and tricks. He found out where the pricing was, where labor, directions at the coffee shop. And we had our local coffee shop, and he'd find a coffee shop in any town that he drove to. So we decided the coffee shop, that's where contractors would feel comfortable online. And that launched in 2002.
Wow. And you're right. And back, computers weren't what they are today. No. We didn't have the access on the phones for the mobile app, so you could look up anything instantaneously. So you were really pioneering at that time. It was a market that was very chancy to jump into. No one really, it was there. We knew about it, but you're still getting your information different ways. But today, look where we're at now.
And it really was before its time. 100%. And that's why it kind of took a while to, it kind of grew, and then the paper went by. And then in 2015, Vicki was just about ready to close down. And I had just left Eagle View, and she was like, "Come join me." And I said, "Okay." And the time we hit the time just perfect, because that's
You did.
really in the last, 5-6 years, this is the digital world, what we're doing right here. And obviously in this last year, it has fit the need. It took everyone to that next step. But I honestly don't think without those years in between 2002 to, now, we wouldn't have learned all the lessons or understood the market as well. And so it worked out. It's
Growing
where it
years,
needs to
right?
be. Yeah, exactly.
Well, another thing too, I mean, I know with the World Wide Web, of course, we have presence almost anywhere, but you have followers and contractors. You're not just in the US based. So tell us a little bit about your international operations.
Yeah, we're doing business both in the US and Canada. So if you go to our classified section on RoofersCoffeeShop.com, you will find Canadian ads. We work with most of the associations up there, the folks you're talking to. And so that's pretty exciting. But beyond that, because obviously it's the World Wide Web, we get people from everywhere. So we have folks coming from England, from Spain. We have a lot from Spain. New Zealand and Australia are probably some of our highest. Then, of course, South America, Mexico. So we get folks from everywhere. And it's really fun to kind of see what they're coming in, what they're reading. And part of our site is in 3 languages. So you can have it in English, Spanish, or French. And so that makes it really even more worldwide appealing.
Sure.
Usually somebody knows one of those languages. And so that has really, and we're, I'm hoping, I know how involved you are over across the ocean over into England and into the United Kingdom. And so we're ready. We want to keep going and keep getting more people involved, because this really is the direction, I think, for communications in the future.
Yeah. And they want to expand operations as well. So I think it's going to be, the world's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, which is great.
Yeah.
It's
I think
nice
we may
to
have a thing here, John.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice to have it's nothing better than to share resources, knowledge, especially with the labor shortages that, we do face in the industry. The more and more information and techniques that you can get out there, the better off we all are. And that's, so I guess next step to get into is, if look at me as 2 things. One is I'm a new roofer coming in and I don't know a lot. And the next level is I've been around a long time and I know what I think I know a lot. So kind of give me an overview of where I fit in Roofers Coffee Shop in both of those, because I know you have both. You're very welcoming to the newbies, but you're very informative to grow them up to the next level. So go ahead and talk a little bit about that to us all.
Yeah, we have our initiative is called Read, Listen, Watch, and it is all about education. And we really believe in the fact that we are a generational learning group. Overall, we're in generational learning, but in the roofing industry especially, we have a much older workforce. And I'll speak for myself. I like to read. Right. So if you give me something to read, I'm super happy. I just got back from vacation. We were trying to listen to podcasts and audible books and stuff. And I'm just not as good at that. I need to practice a little bit, but we really understood that this new generation coming into the industry, they like to listen to podcasts. They like to watch videos. They learn better that way. So we wanted to make things available on all fronts, so that everyone felt comfortable and could get the information. And so with the Read, Listen, Watch, we have everything on demand. You can read it in transcript or in articles that we write about the events. You can listen to it through all of our podcast channels. We're on every single one. And you can watch it either on our site or on our YouTube channel. And so now, and you can do it anytime. That's the thing. Right. We're so busy. It's hard, like, we say, hey, come join us for this webinar at noon on Thursday. Well, at noon on Thursday, I'm on a roof. So they can watch it that night, or they can share it with their team. Maybe they'll watch something and the owner of that company will be like, this will be great for our sales team. I'm going to have them watch it at our next sales meeting. It's all on demand. And I know you do the same thing, John. We have to be able to offer that kind of material to them. And we do it at all levels. whether you are just starting in the industry and need to learn the real basics, to running a business and taking your business to the next level. We try to get that information around. I just got to say, last week we did we call it an RLW. It's a webinar, and it goes into all 3 formats, and it was on ventilation, right? And so as we were prepping for this, I thought, oh my gosh, ventilation. We've only talked about ventilation for the last 30 years, like 10 million times. And the company came through, and I shared that with them. I said, everybody's heard about ventilation. What are we going to do different? And They did such a spectacular job. They really brought the science of ventilation in and packaged it in a way they'd done surveys and focus groups, and they packaged it in a way that a sales team in a roofing company could now present that to a homeowner. It got great reviews. And I mean, it just went so good. It's something every sales team should watch. So those are the ways we try to make things that maybe people think, oh, we've talked about a million times, new. And how does it really matter to whether you're new in the industry or you've been around for a long time?
No, those are great points. And having it available in video, audio, and written allows anybody at any time to access, because as you pointed out, maybe 100 people are available at that webinar time, but as you know, what happens is the afterwards. It's the fact of how many people can go back. And I do that. I'm very busy. There's a topic I may want to watch out there, and I register for it so that I can get the replay link, because I know I can't do it. But and definitely people learn in different manners. And I think you've really captured it with the, read, listen, and watch, because you have all of it there, right? Some people like to read it. I know sometimes I love to watch a video, but I also like to have that written word, which you go back to the article and you can find little, areas that you really want to hone in on. And then, like you say, a lot of people really just need to listen to it. They love the podcast version. And I even find myself doing that more and more, kicking on a podcast when I'm traveling around to get some more information. So no, I think you did great with it. Well, we're almost there. So I'm going to, in closing, give you the last word to go ahead and whatever we haven't covered or whatever you'd like to get out there about what's going on.
Well, I guess I would just say, I know you have a lot of people here today who are doing trainings, who are really taking the time to take their business, take their own personal skills one step further. And I would really recommend that and invite them to do that year round. There is so much training through our directory on Roofers Coffee Shop. It's like going to a trade show 24/7. Whenever you want, you can go find the information, chat with people, find them. And so don't stop today. That would be my last words, is don't stop. Come visit us, see all the stuff that Kenney's doing on Roofers Coffee Shop, along with the industry, and lots of great information and a lot of fun. So right now we're having our pet contest, roofing pets. So send in your favorite picture of your roofing pets and we'll get them out on our site. And
I will have to send one in of my corgis.
Yes. Oh, I love corgis. Yes, do it. That would be great. So thank you, John, so much for having me.
Oh, thank you. It was a pleasure having you on today. And I really appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do that for everybody. So thank you.
Have a great one.
You too.